Welcome back, friends, to Occultists Anonymous, sponsored by Roll20 The Onyx Path. And viewers like you, thank you to all our patrons, subscribers, followers, merch buyers, and whatever else. If you're out there and you're enjoying the show, thank you for being here. But a special shout out to our patrons: Al, Alan Michael, Alex, Alexander, Algos, Badur, Brenny, Blood Angel, Brandon, Carson, Christian, Danny, Doc, Emil, Jack, James, Jenny, John, Josh, Julian, Catfeathers, Melissa, Michael, Moku, Noba, Perry, Puppeteer, Ramon, Riverscride, Ryan, Sarong Mage, Sebastian, Sinna, Serenus, Terry, the Banty, the All Michael, Thomas, Usuf Sama, and Firekeeper. The one true Michael completely messed me up by changing it to the All Michael, and I was like, oh my god, did they leave? Oh no, there they are. They're just down at the bottom. So thank you very much to all our patrons and everybody else who supports us. It really does mean a lot to us. We appreciate it. And yeah. When we last left the Cabal, they were going to do some stuff, having just killed a man, air quotes, an artificial synthetic person who with a soul and mind. So
fake ass Pinocchio boy
person.
And so
that was murder.
Behold the big philosophical questions. At the end of the day, Weird did it and is now rampant because of it. Failed the active hubris role. This is what happens.
There's only one definition for what a person is. A miserable pile of secrets.
Okay. I was going to say, wow, we are starting off with the politics and the philosophy right. Oh, no, never mind. It's just a Dracula reference.
Well, Dracula.
Not even Dracula, Castlevania reference. I mean, both, but not like Bram Stoker. Or, Vlad Tepes. Though I guess technically Vlad Tepes, but okay, whatever. Off topic. Hi, guys. So yes, the Cabal had wrecked a gas station, murdered a man, and met up with Samson himself, who basically gave them not exactly marching orders, but strong suggestions for, hey, don't make this look like our kind of work. This needs to be a little bit more flashy. It needs to be a little bit more, as he said, a little bit more free counsel. And the Cabal basically said, cool, yeah, we can totally do that. And started to make plans and looked over the various locations that had been pinned on a little Google Maps street preview printout. I'd get there eventually. And settled on, well, the Japanese gardens looks like the best place to hit. Is there any particular reason? Because we discussed this in Discord, but nobody gave a specific reason. Is there a reason you guys chose that specific place? I know you may have different answers because you all kind of individually chimed in on Japanese gardens.
It pretty.
I just like gardens.
Probably fewer people around for collateral damage and.
I mean, yeah, and compared to a mall, a big business center, and and a hospital, probably accurate. Okay. So yeah, they had narrowed down the Seattle Japanese Gardens, which, hey, shout out to them. They are open for limited visits right now during COVID-19, except for right now because fires. Please stay safe out there, people. Thank you. Righto. So with that decision made, the Cabal said, okay, time to prep like mages prep back to the house. And return back to the Rookery, and for those of you on YouTube and Twitch may have noticed, are prepping some spells. Songbird is first on the line with 3 spells. Care to run those down for me? I know you messaged me them on Discord, but in which order we're talking about here?
So I typed them up in this order. I would like to do the first one last, actually.
Okay.
Because it's going to risk some hefty paradox.
Oh, is that a life spell then?
Yeah, sure is.
Why paradox?
Because we don't have life in our fucking domain, because we haven't forced Rose to make a soul stone yet.
Right.
Yeah, she has to go to the stone, so. I think for all of my spells, actually, I'm going to have to paradox because if I'm including spirit in them.
I'm trying to remember. Let me jump over to the domain thing because you may actually be able to get around it. I'm trying to remember exactly what the rules for.
I think it's if it's the highest.
Right, it's something like that.
The higher spell effect is covered by the domain, then you're good.
Let's see here.
Okay, so I can.
I'm pulling up.
Do
the
I still
rules
roll with
for-
the higher
Yeah, don't quit.
Arcana?
You roll with the lower.
Okay, but I'm
Always roll with
covered
lower.
by the higher.
Oh,
Oh,
actually,
we're looking at. Yep.
you might actually be okay if you are basically splitting stuff. A Verge, which a domain technically is just artificial, offers a 2-die bonus to spells that utilize its ruling arcana. Domains don't do that. Furthermore, as long as the spell that qualifies for the bonus, i.e. utilizes the ruling arcana, doesn't leave the Verge, it doesn't risk paradox unless a sleeper is present at some point during the spell's duration. And the way we have been treating that is the spell cast itself doesn't generate paradox, but later if somebody were to see it, then of course it's going to generate paradox. So yes,
Yeah, but mine are all spells that no one would see, right?
right, which is not necessarily a problem. But notably in this case, it does mean if you crisscross and include your spirit spell with this. Now, actually, to use Exorcist Eye, because I know that's one that you're casting, that does use death.
Mhm.
Because so that one would qualify, and you would have free. You had a paradox free reach on that.
Okay. My other one, I was going to do all 3 shielding spells at once.
Cool, which again uses death. So, all right. So yes, Chris, starting with your second spell, and you guys are
That
writing these
is-
down because I'm not tracking these.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah, please write them in Discord because I'm not going to be able to keep track of all.
Well, I think if everybody keeps track of their own spells they've cast, I think that should be good. And just keep it
Sure.
out for each other.
I will also type it in Discord. So the first one is Supernal Veil. And Invisibility.
Cool. Which, since you're casting that one, and compared to Linwood Hall, and Songbird has had a little bit more experience casting invisibility and stuff like that, and noting the first time around that, you kind of had to pull back on the invisibility meter and do the weird shimmer so you guys could spot each other. Has Songbird come up with a new way to enable you guys to see each other? Out of curiosity.
Yes, but I don't know that Chris knows what it is.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. But you
Infrared
but I'm sure
vision
there's-
with forces.
What's up?
Infrared vision with forces.
thermal vision.
I mean,
Predators now.
forces-based invisibility makes light flow around you so that you're not seen.
Which
So
would kind of
infrared
affect
also
infrared.
wouldn't work.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But that said, yeah, something like that, that Songbird kind of
Yeah.
bakes into
I'm
the
down.
imago.
I'm down for this whole thing being in predator vision. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's a dope aesthetic. And if shit really goes wild, I'll rip my face open and munch on somebody.
Right. Cool. So, and it's just supernal vision and invisibility.
Yeah, I don't have six gnosis, so
No, that's fine. I was
can't
just
really.
yeah. And so yeah, go ahead and knock that one out real quick.
I'm gonna take a willpower.
Sure. Well, you get that anyways because it's
right.
exceptional success
That's
on
right.
a spell cast.
I will take a condition.
Sure. Let's do a bonus to stealth.
Yeah.
Please raise your hand if you were surprised. But cool. And I guess third spell on the list. Taking some penalties.
That is going to be a big boy kinetic blow and crucible.
Mm-hmm.
maxed out kinetic blow, so it's a +5 to weapon rolls. I'm going to type all the details in. Knockdown, stunned, applies to held weapons. For guns, it will, for Atratus's gun, it will grant 5 armor piercing. And yeah, advanced potency, advanced duration.
Sure.
And spending the mana for the rote rolls. So 5 rote rolls involving the weapon
And I'm sure
as part of Crucible.
That's going to be the knuckles, the rapier, and the tricked out wondrous machine gun.
Pretty standard.
Terrible puns.
Yes. It's not us if they're not. Yeah.
Oh yeah, can I not
Six
do
puns.
3 spells together?
You need Gnosis 6 for that.
No.
Okay. I asked that. You said yes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So
4 successes on that one.
There you go. This also, I realized when you guys were prepping all this, this is where those praxis start to be very, very useful, is because praxis can be combined. So if they're all praxis, then you get successes on exceptionals.
Right.
All right. It looks like we'll come back around to Chris's last one. Songbird's
Yeah, that's
last
fine.
one. So weird. This first one.
Yep. This one is choose the thread, shield of Chronos, and veil sympathy.
Cool. And of course, yeah, piling on that reach because that's a big one.
Yep.
And very specifically, you are veiling all sympathetic connections.
All sympathetic connections.
Okay.
That's a whole lot. Yay! Yay! I'll take it.
9 minus 2. Man, how'd you get to 8 dice? Am I
3 times 6 gnosis, 4 for shadow name, 2 for the mirror, 1 for the rapier, 2 for high
you didn't put
speech.
yantra bonuses. That's why. Okay, we're good.
Oh, did I not put? Okay, did I skip
Not on the
yantra
first one.
bonuses?
No, you're good.
Okay,
I was looking, I was like, I'm doing this math, and then I noticed the yantra bonuses was 0. Yeah, so that explains it. Cool. So you had 3 successes, so no problem there. And then what was the second one that you're casting with 15 reach?
This is warding gesture, ward, and inward and outward eye.
Okay.
Three successes.
Cool. And Ash, what do you have here?
the first one is going to be Death and Spirit Shield. To get it in under my soulstone.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is a mental shield.
Gotcha. Now, real quick, gonna go double check. So yeah, this is one where I'm like, would Spirit actually cover this?
Yes.
The ephemeral shield. Okay, yeah, it doesn't. That one's purely for spirits. Okay, because Spirit does, bullshit where it'll
Those
do.
other
This
things
applies to
sometimes
ghosts.
too,
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, you can knock those out real quick. Is that 7, 3, 10? Yeah.
Yeah, I just get more dice on the second one because it's only my mind.
Mm-hmm. This isn't too bad for your guys' spell control because Chris has got 3, Craig has got 2, Ash has got 2. Yeah.
Oh, technically have 3.
Oh, what's
4, actually.
What are the ones you have
Oh,
outstanding?
hang on, no, because I
Miracle.
gave the miracle to Judd, right? Or not Judd,
Or to
Titus,
Titus.
that's right.
Titus. Mhm. So I'll have 3.
Okay. What was your third spell?
My coin.
Sure.
Okay. I got super success on my mind spell.
Would you also like a condition?
Sure.
Okay. On mental shield. Let's just do a flat like bonus to like intelligence mental stat rolls.
Okay. +2.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And then wrapping back to the weird one thing for Chris, your last one there, or first one.
So it is honing the form and life failing with a bunch of potency and taking half an hour to cast it.
Okay. Cool.
For 2 ritual durations.
Right. So 3 overreach by default, and then are you using
9?
Okay.
I'm going to spend a bunch down, and then grab some out of the hollow, which produces 5 per day, and we've been gone for 3 days. So,
yep. The rest of your cabal has snitched. Ooh, yeah, they probably snitched some, but yeah, not a ton, because they can only get the oblation stuff. So, right. How much are you putting into it?
9. Just roll chance die.
Cool.
Cool.
You want that mana back?
Take my mana back.
All right. And that, kids, is why you go ahead and do that ritual duration instead of instant casting. Because throw that extra.
Well, also because instant casting would have cost me another
3. Yeah.
Another 3 overreach. Yeah, I wrote it up and I was like, it's fine. And then I was like, oh, wait, life.
This is the life one. Ooh.
I'm going to back off some of these reach, huh?
And what's this one, Ash?
This is my exorcist eye.
Oh, okay.
And it is a praxis for me, so. I have success.
Oh, there you go. Didn't cost you any mana to begin with. You already have a condition. What's the other options? I can't remember. It's been so long. There's something other than you guys taking a condition or getting your mana back? Actually,
I mean, I know there are options for when you're casting them on other people.
Bonus duration.
Yeah,
and can you up like the? Actually, for that first one, for the mind spell, can you up the Clash of Wills on it? Is that a thing?
It's a duration
instead of
spell.
Bypassing.
It's a duration spell already, so the only way you would get more is if, well, in short, no, because you have enough. Because you've already, if you're casting it at a year, which is what you would have.
Is she?
Oh,
no,
you're muted.
She's not.
No, Ash is muted. Or I can't hear her.
Scene, day, week, month.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you
can go to a year,
step.
and I'll get you a +1.
Yeah.
On Clash of Wills.
Mm-hmm. So.
My mental shield has much higher Clash of Wills than my Ghost and Death and Spirit one, but
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so what we'll do is effectively swap that around, and you'll put that first exceptional success on increasing the Clash of Wills by increasing the duration, so it lasts for a year and gives you a +4 to the Clash of Will rolls, and then this one will give you your a condition for Exorcist Eye. Yeah, let's just keep it on the mental stats, and I'm just because I can't be arsed. Cool. Meanwhile, of course, the rest of the cabal has been here, like watching you guys, like working and prepping, kind of like not necessarily in concert, but like in the same space, because you guys need each other to be able to, go ahead and cast in sensory range. I think Craig, I guess Weird is like, and I'm going to cast this spell way over here. I'm going to throw a mana on it. And I don't think actually, because that would be actually a sensory range already, whatever. But yes, and getting to watch the Rookery, prepare for, well, infiltration to start, but potential throwdowns after.
Once everyone's done with their spells, and I think I'm the only one doing a big long ritual. Is that right?
Correct. Everybody else is doing it instant.
I'm going to sweep up camp, as it were, and clean up all those nimbuses that we've just inundated the area with.
Oh, sure. Back at the Rookery.
Yeah, well, because we're like sharing space,
Well,
like it's co-located, right? So,
ooh, that's actually very true. You probably had to leave the co-locate up.
because we can't get back.
Right. You don't have an easy, sympathetic way to get back, and you don't necessarily want to teleport back. So, yeah, that's true.
So I'd rather not inundate this
poor hotel room. Cool.
Because I don't think at this point that our Gnosis or that our Nimbuses care about, a wall of a hotel room. It's fucking the whole place.
Not when you're throwing this much stuff around. Yeah, let's see here. Prime.
Yeah, and high potency and stuff like that.
I have the option to, I can hold all these spells, I think, and then have room to cast one. I was going to see if I could pass off our invisibility spell, machine invisibility, to Titus, because he's only holding one right now, yeah?
He can hold, and this is the rule I have just made. If somebody wants to go call up Megan F and get a official ruling, you are welcome to, but this is my game. Hi. Everybody basically puts, it's not that Titus is holding a spell, it is that the connection between Titus and Weird is holding a spell. Because you have a connection between Titus, you can also lay a spell there, and I'm going to double check, see what the requirements are there. I know you at least meet the medium one for at least the one spell. I'm trying to remember. No, not the Devil's Lover. Where's this silly thing? There it is. Strong connection would be 2. So yes, in my opinion, Titus can hold 2 spells for you guys.
Okay.
So, for each of you, rather. And to be fair, keep that up, and he's likely to pick up the banner bearer merit eventually.
Fine with that. Okay, so I can give him 2 then. I'll give him the invisibility and the ghost shield.
Okay.
I'll give him the honing the form and the kinetic blow.
Okay.
That way I can drop the...
The one thing I am going to mention, just because it may be relevant, just because Titus is holding it doesn't mean that it cannot be dispelled off of you. This is just for spell control.
Sure. I wouldn't think that. No, what I specifically is that I wanted to hold on to the supernal veil and invisibility, because I can drop that if I want to or need to.
You can do so easily, even while it's on Titus.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it doesn't matter what 2 spells then.
Yep. Yeah, no, specifically, because that's what I was like, okay, what are the rules for this? And it literally says spells no longer count towards spell control, but remain under her command and may be relinquished or canceled as normal. So basically, it's literally just offloading the spell control component, like limit, and that's it. So,
how many?
Okay.
How many total spells did we just cast? I just want to help
working on my Clash of Wills.
Oh, sure. What's the duration?
The Ghost Shield is advanced duration, but it's only 2 dots. So
plus 1.
Duration day. Yeah. And it was a -4, so 2 more for potency.
Plus 3.
Okay, so.
Wait, for potency or for duration?
For advanced potency reach, is that what you meant?
Oh, to I did a -4 on potency to try to get 2 more steps in the Clash of Will.
Oh no, potency would not do that for.
You just extend the duration.
Okay.
Yeah, the only
say it was duration then.
Yeah, that's fine. It's the same penalties.
Right.
Okay. so that one's at a +3.
Mhm.
And the mental shield is already at 4. Okay, I don't think that minus I needed was necessary then, because I don't think I can extend it any further.
No, not without going
That one's
to
+4.
indefinite. Yeah. And indefinite costs mana and doesn't give you a better Clash of Wills. Once you hit a year, you're set.
Yeah.
So
that
four
one's just
dots.
+4.
4 dots of duration is a month.
Right. So you only have to
Yeah,
take
and then I
-2.
got the exceptional. So
Right.
extended
Okay.
it one further.
Yeah. So that's +4.
And 9 spells, by the way.
9 spells. Okay. I'm going to do one more thing and words and sign our spells to help protect them from being dispelled.
Yep. Damn you, but yes.
You probably shouldn't have mentioned dispelling spells that are in. But I had thought about this actually before this, and I promise I'm not totally metagaming. Cool.
I mean,
So
it
that
is
should be-
it is a very Songbird, very adamantine arrow thing to note. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just duration and yeah. I mean, I have it's prime, so it's fine.
Yep.
Is that a potency or duration spell? It's
It is a
spell.
duration spell.
Okay. I'm gonna swap with reach
Okay.
and then take a.
You muted yourself? Still
You're still
muted.
muted. There you go.
So my new shortcut is the numpad minus sign.
I'm telling you, just put a control
God damn it.
modifier on there. Control
No,
0.
I refuse. That's funny though.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna swap the primary factor
I got that part.
and then give my.
Give
minus
yourself
4
-1
for duration, and then -2. I knew I had to type another one for scale, so I waited. Oh man,
Welcome,
There's
guys.
so many buffs.
fucking some bullshit. There you go.
Oh yeah, don't worry, chat. Chris definitely realized he was muted.
I've got my macro button visible now, so I should at least. I'll just put it over my face. There we go. Now I have
That's
a
true.
bright
You don't have
purple
to see
button
her.
that says
Muted.
What's up?
No, you're good.
Yeah.
And then
Cool.
yeah, no reach needed or no overreach. So yeah, just 10 minus 6
Professional
is 4
streamer,
plus 9,
yes.
13. Yes. Believe it or
Hey.
not, we are
I'm
somehow
only
getting
professional
paid for
because
this.
you people pay us. What is that?
13.
12, 13? Cool. And then
Just
just
shy.
a real quick 10 dicer to clean up all those nimbuses.
Because scale is going to be, well, I guess that's true because you can throw a reach on for scale. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's what, 2
Because
2 dots or 3 dots? It's probably weaving. Or
cleanse
fraying or
pattern
whatever.
is a 3 dot to
Yeah,
give you
okay.
a comparison. So
So I got 3 reach for that. So instant scale. Good. There you go. All right.
cool. You guys sit 3 hours later. How long was the ritual duration? No, 2.5 hours.
30 minutes.
Right, but you did multiple of them.
I only did 1 ritual. The other 2 were
okay,
instants.
gotcha. Okay,
Because they were.
Mhm.
Because they had infinite reach. So.
Yeah, no, I thought you had taken additional. Okay, cool. Yeah, so
Nope.
30 minutes later, yeah, the cabal shows up. Weird pops in. Hey guys, grabs Travis and Songbird. You guys stumble through ritual cast for 30
I'm
minutes.
still
or
never
so.
going to get used to that.
Mine probably took, because mine were 3 spells.
Mm-hmm. But how many of them did you actually do at ritual duration? Because you would have spent.
Actually, I didn't overreach for any of those. I would probably just done them all instantly.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, you and Weird go boom, 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 boom. All right, we're done. Everybody watches. Yeah, so
1 second. We're good.
Just sit down and chill.
Yep. Titus catches up with you guys.
Then you feel strong.
Yeah, that's true. Because honing the form, because that's true. What did you have in honing the form for stat wise?
I typed it into Discord, but it's +3 strength, +2 dex, and +3 stam.
Cool.
And just add those. I'm strong now.
Yeet. Mm-hmm. Get swole. Nimbai.
And many hit points.
Many hit points, yes.
Nimbui. I don't think it's Nimbui. Nimbai, Nimbuses, yeah. I love chat. Thank you, guys. 35 minutes. 35 minutes in an alternative to a shopping episode, we have a buffing episode, but we kept it short.
To be fair,
damn it.
We did it in real time.
That's true.
That's true.
Just think back when you first started. Like this would have been the full episode.
A full episode.
This would have taken 2 hours.
We did do that.
Yeah,
you
we did
guys
that.
killed a werewolf and spent the entire day trying to figure out how to
spent
cast
3
spells.
minutes killing him.
Just trying to do a spell.
We did do the rules right this time instead of the last buffing episode. Thank you, Perry.
Hey, there's been buffing episodes since then.
Yeah. So with that, you guys have a little chit chat up with Titus, pass off a couple spells to him. He definitely has like some nerves showing because he's like, oh, I am now holding these.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. He's like, no,
Give him a hug.
that's fine. I'm just not going out on patrol until you guys get back, or like give me a ring or something.
Tell Network to cover you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be here.
I mean, Network could veil those connections, but the spells aren't visible.
Actually,
those connections are veiled.
Yeah.
Oh, then yeah.
Because Weird did the
right.
the reach for which covers both directions. So yep.
Right. Sorry.
And just keep in mind, you guys can see collocates, irises, distortions, warps.
Oh yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah, because
all that kind of stuff. Those are all visible.
You can see every.
You can see everything
ghost,
as if it's
or spirit.
Mm-hmm. And without word or eye, basically everything you see is like a flat, featureless plane. Like there's no walls, there's no doors. You can't see in darkness and stuff like that. But otherwise, there's no obstacles to your vision.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Or rather, there's a wall there, but you can see through it.
Right.
You effectively see around things. Yeah, it's
hard to put into words that our brains would understand. But
right.
yeah,
for
but
me,
like there's
predators now.
There's no line of sighting you. Like you can cast on sensory range for somebody 3 rooms over.
Yeah, and now one thing I will mention, since we are going into potentially combat situations, things that are in the same room as you are very easy to spot. Distance is still a thing, though. So somebody who is 3 rooms away, they're still going to be difficult to spot because
except I've reduced all range penalties by 3.
I forgot that was a thing. So yes. But and bear in mind, I'm less talking about range penalties so much as perception. Sure. And like that's a lot of
you
space.
Physically cannot see them that far away.
Yeah, it's a lot of space to be paying attention to. Our poor little monkey brains go, I can see this stuff. If it gets past my peripheral vision, it's really hard to see. Now all of a sudden you can see that. That's a lot of extra data just for the room you're in, except not going out. Is also a very good one talking about like how do we put this one at home, kids. Get into them imagos. For Drifter, when he casts this, it's literally everything goes wireframe. And so it's a mess to see, but once you start spotting stuff moving and recognizing stuff, then you can see it. So yeah. Cool. So
the space is fake, and all connected rooms are actually just one hallway.
Yep, accurate. And
that's kind of like Weird's Imago is now like everything is just one big space, and all the walls and doors and things become like ephemeral. They're like mist. They're not really even there. They don't obscure
seems very weird.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yep. So you guys basically did this stuff that evening, because Samson had showed up kind of later in the afternoon. Well, actually, after the workday ended, So you guys are talking like 6:37.
So before we shut down the co-locate and head back, we should probably have a chat.
Yeah. What about?
Atratus was going to get that ball rolling, I thought.
Oh. Yeah, just thinking about the legality of all of this. Aren't there rules in place about barging into someone's sanctum and murdering them?
So cabal meeting time, because this is going to affect network.
I mean, a little bit.
I mean, I'm more concerned about repercussions here for us. Like,
Yeah.
legally, are we going to get tribunaled or whatever for breaking the rules?
Right. And, like, since you guys have brought that up, feel free to roll intelligence plus occult. Not occult, plus politics. And then add your, before you hit that button, the concilium status as a modifier.
Ah.
My whopping 0 dots in politics.
Yes, time to call a silver ladder. Indeed, Camo, except, that's like calling a lawyer and saying, I'm about to murder somebody.
1 dice, 1 success.
1 dice, 1 success. Come on, you gotta get all. Wow. Okay. So yeah, you're not sure. Surely, hang on. 3 just 3?
I have 0 dots in politics.
And -3 mental unskilled penalty.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
And 3, and I chose not to spend my 2 dot on this.
Sure.
My condition roll.
And you have no concilium status? Or
I have 3. I have 3 int, 0 politics, and 3 concilium status.
Right. Okay. Yep. Cool. And it seems very appropriate that this is weird. Who knows this? But even Songbird has at least some of this. We'll start with what they both have. Songbird and Weird both know that if somebody breaks some of the laws, the gold laws and stuff like that, basically they have to. It has to be brought up to the concilium. So if the Seers basically, in this case, because they're the ones who are being harmed, if the Seers have a problem, they have to bring it up to the concilium. Are they in good status with the concilium? If not, they might hear the case, but the hierarch might literally throw it out and basically go, this happened on the other side of the country. It's not our concilium. It's not our convocation, which is the group of conciliums over here on the East Coast. This isn't our problem. Bring it up with the convocation over on the West Coast. Weird knows that if the Seers do bring it up to the convocations over on the West Coast, it kind of comes down to what that specific convocation thinks about these Seers, and if they're trying to get along with them and try and maintain some level of relationship, which from what you have seen and how they've basically kind of left Seattle alone, kind of sketchy. And even then, they're going to bring that up at the convocation, which is like once every 2 years. The conciliums are going to get together and hold this convocation. So they're just going to have to sit on this for a while. The flip side, and less of a politics thing, and this is the thing all three of you realize, this also means that because they have no political and lex magica way to pursue this, then they may just show up to the concilium and call you out on the case of a dual arcane, at which point the hierarch goes, well, did you, harm them? And you guys, in front of somebody who can cast Pierce Deception, will go, yeah, I guess kind of we did. And the hierarch will go, well, then they have a claim. You guys need to settle this in a dual arcane. And that'll be a discussion of, at that point. But that said, you guys know you're about to off Graves.
That's a problem.
And yeah.
Picture me.
Also very true. But you also know you're going to off Mr. Graves, you're going to off the Stalker, leaving only Zolius in the pylon. If your plan goes correct, Zolius is the only one who's going to call a dual arcane on behalf of 2 dead people. It's Zolius.
I think we'll be fine.
Seems all right.
Yeah. If everything goes according to plan, this shouldn't have any major flashbacks.
Besides, he tried to fuck us in the first place, so.
Also true. So yes, it is a concern, and the biggest drawback would be potentially reputation, because this is that whole, well, everybody kind of knows they did this, but it never went to court kind of thing. And because you guys are only doing this to Sears, it's probably going to hurt your reputation with Sears.
Apparently, I'm already known across the country, so.
Yeah.
I mean, my take on that is that this is effectively retaliation for what Zolius attempted to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of the.
Yeah, I don't think
the spin
We're
on
breaking into steal stuff, right?
What's that?
Yeah, you get to murder
We're breaking
people when they
into
try to
steal
steal your
stuff.
things.
Yeah. And exactly
Not
what.
equivalent, but
Right. Well, and like and this is the thing that Samson had pointed out, like, if this is all, hey, we're here to steal stuff, and that is the replication, and things got out of hand, we didn't come here to kill Mr. Graves, we came here to steal a bunch of shit and fuck up Zolius' stuff, and Mr. Graves caught us, and we defended ourselves when he, whatever, that becomes a he said, she said. Time Magic can go and see what actually happened, but...
That's fair.
Yeah. But nonetheless, you showing up and wrecking house and putting on the show of, we came here to steal stuff is kind of the cover that Samson effectively was suggesting. With right. Samson also going, I hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. So yeah.
Sure.
Cool. So you guys...
He seems a fair judge of character, too,
Hey, I can't remember what his virtue is, but it is something like righteous or something like that. So, righto. Yes, as Noctal
Don't assure me this is going to be a problem anytime soon. So whatever, it's fine, right?
Yep. And as Noctal pointed out, oh damn, I just got banned for the restaurant I never eat at. Cool. So yeah, you guys step through and return back to Seattle. Spend the night there, glowing in power. Or actually, I guess I don't know. Do you guys plan to do this tonight?
Nighttime raid.
Let's
go look at it.
Sure.
Strike while the iron's hot.
Check
Our
out the
shields
area
are
around
only
it,
up
right?
for. Yeah.
Because the co-locate was active, basically, it's like this massive disco party went off in our hotel room. We went in and cleaned it up immediately afterwards. But
co-locate doesn't mean the places are the same. Like, actually, it basically blurs it only for people who have space magic to see through it. Okay. All the stuff that happened, you guys had shifted over to New York. You were in New York when this stuff happened. The only people who would see it would be people who had the space magic to perceive the overlap and were there. The Nimbus doesn't necessarily bleed over, though in Chris's case, it's one of those, Songbird's case, it's like, we're just going to make sure it doesn't. Yeah.
Just wipe it down.
Yeah.
Little house painting. It's fine.
So it sounds like you guys are at least going to go scope the place out tonight.
Yeah.
Cool. Let us see here. For those of you who are trying to follow along at home, yes, I know. I don't always show a map on Roll20, I do show a map on Roll20. Don't always show it on YouTube. I apologize. It's just one of those things eventually I'll figure out, but because it happens so infrequently, I don't, it's not a high priority, but you can go find this map. Just literally go check out the Seattle Japanese Garden map. Put it in Google, you'll find the map. So yes, you guys arrive outside this place. Also, follow along on the wiki, the Wikipedia page that has lots of beautiful pictures. This place looks awesome. And when you guys arrive, it definitely looks awesome. It is definitely closed. You're seeing kind of the last
Where
of the
is
people.
it?
Yeah.
I'm looking for it.
But yeah, basically you were seeing the last of the patrons being escorted out. Things are being closed up. It definitely looks like staff are there to close up, do clean up, your normal end of the night functions. But yeah, we're well into the street lights have come on. The place is kind of closing down. It is, obviously it's a garden, so it's open air. There's only one really big fence, that just kind of wraps the entire place. And it's a big, hardy, stone kind of thing, but it's a 9-foot thing. It doesn't have like barbed wire across the top. Looking at it immediately, like all three of you share that like mammon sense of like, oh yeah, no, we can totally thief our way into here easily, especially with you honing the form, jump skill.
Strong.
Yep.
You can climb.
Strong.
Yep. So it's not, getting in and over is not going to be the problem. But that is what you see at first glance as you guys we abused it so much in the air quote first season. You guys Uber there, and kind of
Not when we're invisible. We don't.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of a walk, because I can't remember exactly where it is, but yeah. So that is your first glance. No mage sight. Though with Exorcist Eye,
We can just see all the ephemerals.
And word outward eye, we can, if there's any like irises there,
if they are not themselves hidden, correct?
Sure.
But yes, getting close, and as you walk up, it goes from, okay, we're kind of following a map and trying to figure out where exactly we're going. But as you get closer, you go, oh, this is what Samson meant about keep an eye out for all the Grigori. You see, like, coming up just along the stretch of that southern Lake Washington Boulevard East, easily like 4 Grigori, just kind of floating, dejected, bored, just hanging, limp, almost kind of like, floating in a pool, mummies wrapped up and eyes poking out everywhere. There's like 4 of them just floating and just kind of lingering. They don't appear to be like patrolling or doing anything active. They're just hanging and, as you might suspect, watching.
The things made of eyes are there to watch. Fucking
what a surprise. Yeah,
surprise.
For the Panopticon. Yeah. But yeah, just, I'm assuming you're somewhere on the south side of this map, kind of looking up and seeing at least the 4 Grigori there. Ghost-wise, nothing. Spirit-wise, you see mostly those kind of bored contentment spirits. There are a couple of spirits of like beauty and growth and life that are like clinging to the outside of the place, and kind of, probably there's a large spirit of the garden that is kind of just I said that there was a big spirit. I really didn't take the time to think of what it would look like, but yeah, there is a big.
We also do have the reach that would let you look across the gauntlet if you try.
Across the
you really want to.
Yeah, if you want to look into the shadow. But yeah, there is a big, I think very kind of lounging, peaceful, slightly Buddha-esque, meditative spirit there for the garden itself. That is kind of lingering and definitely catches your eye, without doing the necessary rolls and stuff like that. It's a biggin, not Spirit of the New Jersey River or whatever the hell that was, but I know it wasn't actually
James
River. No, I was thinking of that's the Richmond one. I'm thinking of
the one at the firehouse.
Thank you. Yes. Hudson River?
The Kohaku River.
Kohaku River.
Fucking nerds.
Yeah. Well, I had to go find the Google Maps.
You did a very good job describing Haku if who's never seen Spirited Away.
I take that. Which, by the way, I have apparently a bunch of new movies to watch now because I have some new subscriptions. Yay. Yeah.
Have you watched Spirited Away yet?
No. I'm busy watching Maverick. It is in fact on the list. Yeah. So that is like, at first blush, that is kind of what you see as you kind of approach. Like I said, it definitely looks like there's still some staff there at the moment. How do you wish to proceed?
Open my anime eyes and see if there's any active spells around the area.
Looks fine. Roll Gnosis plus Prime, please. You, to quote D&D, you perceive no traps.
You're fairly certain this area is not trapped.
The Grigori shouldn't be able to see us, right?
I think they can. Well, we're invisible, but
which doesn't matter to them because
we're shielded from like golems.
Ooh.
Machine visibility blocks constructs.
Constructs and golems.
The Grigori are like
they're Goche.
Spirits.
They're Goche.
Goche, yeah. They can see us.
Right.
Wait, I thought that was one of the spells you specifically were trying to cover.
I did the shield.
Right. She did shielding for stuff as opposed to You would need to do
Do I have a invisible to
incognito presence.
Incognito presence would be that one.
I was operating under the assumption we were going to be invisible from Goche or from Grigori because we specifically knew that was coming.
Let's see here. And I mean, you guys have a minute or two.
I can do that, yeah.
Yep. So real quick, hang on. Sorry, I got sidetracked. And folks at home will see this roll, but I am doing a
that still
roll.
Doesn't hide you from them, really.
Incognito presence would effectively, like anything that has a mind that would recognize you as a person, just would glaze over you. That's what incognito
presence. Has to Clash of Wills to actually see you.
Right. That's why it also costs some mana. Well, yeah. Re-roll, Chris. If you guys check over on Twitch, and hopefully Twitch chat is also laughing at this, I managed, and this time because now the gig is up. I guess there's no.
Did you roll a very large amount of dice and get 3 successes?
I got one single 10, and then I got another 10, and then I got another 10.
Oh.
The second time around, though, I got 3. You got 2. Okay. Yeah. So no, there doesn't appear to be any spells.
Okay.
Which 100% not even metagaming. Skeptical. Press F to doubt. No, X to doubt.
Sure.
But yeah, you do not immediately perceive them.
Let's see. To cast that spell here, I'm going to need to overreach by 1. Be fine.
3 little baby dice of paradox.
And that's without mana. Or her hammer.
The hammer is a +1, Yantra?
Mm-hmm. If it applies, which in this case, I think it does.
You're smashing their faces so they don't notice you.
Reshaping is kind of the thought I was thinking too. But yes, smashing the veil. Yeah, okay. I smashed their eyes!
Exactly.
Like whack-a-mole. Like whack-a-mole. Squish, squish, squish. Yeah.
Oh.
Don't forget you got 6 rerolls.
It's true.
If you need them. That applies to spellcasting as well.
9. Cool. And what are we doing for the overreach? The paradox, I mean.
Well, if I use my dedicated tool, that's -2 on it, right?
Correct.
There's just 1 die.
Mm-hmm.
I'll roll it.
Cool. No problem. And so then roll your 9. And the reach you are using is instant scale administration?
Instant scale duration.
Okay. Cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so roll that 14 dice. Okay, there we go. You didn't spend any mana. I guess you can get a bonus duration if you want for the Clash of Wills.
Sure.
Yep. Okay. Cool. So yeah, you guys go super invisible. cameras don't see you. People, things cannot see you, and now if they do happen to see you, they ignore you. We are layering on the stealth. The only thing that could ever see you now is, somebody active looking for prime spells or using prime look for spells. And then that's still a clash of wills to even spot it.
Yeah, because I've got Supernal Veil.
Yep. Layers upon layers upon layers. Cool.
Okay. So,
And then when they look at us, they don't see mages.
yes.
Also true. This, by the way, this is my shit. This is how mage should work. Just layer this stuff on.
So basically, we just run up and start punching graves, and he won't even see who's like what's going on.
Incognito presence does break when that happens.
Okay.
You're breaking stealth to attack.
Sure.
Yeah, I think incognito presence specifically calls out if you do something to somebody, they will notice you.
Okay. Anybody else got any ideas on if there's anything funky going on here? Pointed look to weird.
Yeah, it is kind of funny.
bullshit.
You were the only person with Prime. So you're the only person to spot spells.
No,
Sure,
well,
but if there was... You can see... You should be able to see effects that are related to the purview of your Arcana.
Right. Unless they are themselves concealed. But yes. Mm-hmm.
Right.
So we're looking
Weird
for...
would be able to look at funky space bullshit.
Yeah, an iris or something that leads to his place.
Yeah, well, right now, you are outside the walls.
We haven't even gotten in the garden yet.
Yep.
Oh, I thought we were inside. Okay.
No.
No. We haven't decided to breach this wall yet.
Yeah, because you got close and went, oh, there's some Goche spotters, and you all three went, wait, hang on, that is in fact a weak point in our spells, and Atratus goes, I got it.
Yeah, and where
I
it's
haven't
like,
done it because
those
I
guys
figured with all the other stealth, it's just like, oh, the other stealth doesn't block these. So.
Right.
I like the visual of we're coming up and we're just like, they can't see us, can they? And Ruta's like, oh, wait, yeah. Oh, shit. Okay.
They're about the only thing that can at this point. Whoops.
Or does Atratus have the, yes, I cast life wood. Yeah, there's nothing alive in the house. Wait, hang on, there's nothing alive in the house.
She had 2 dogs. Are they dead?
Yes, they were ghoul. They were undead. Not technically ghouls in that regard. They were more, what's the term, revenants, I think? But yes, they were zombie ghoul. Yeah.
Zombie dogs. Good boys.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So yeah, you are, like I said, looking there. Chris, Songbird is the only one to have verbalized putting on Mage Sight. If anybody else is doing similar, do let me know.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for Death, because I know that he does that.
Right. So yeah, throwing on Death Sight, which already because you have Exorcist Eye, you know there's no ghosts here. Actually, for clarity's sake, go ahead and roll Gnosis plus Death. And Gnosis plus... are you using Mind?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, so go ahead and roll both of those, plus whatever the duration you had on Exorcist Eye. For the effectively a clash of wills to spot hidey ghosts or spirits.
I think it's just +1 because I didn't buff it at all.
Okay.
Just advanced duration.
Oh, wow, shit. Okay, that said,
Nice.
Yeah, looking at this, you are very confident that, there's no hidey spirits or ghosts. And the Goche you can spot already. I keep saying Goche. They're not technically Goche. They're just in Mind Twilight.
Gregory.
Yeah, but yeah, the Grigori are, very, very spottable. Yeah, so you are pretty set that there doesn't seem to be anything like that. Using Death and Mind Sights, you do flag. Actually, let me see here. What would they? Yeah, I guess they're going to roll that too. Okay, well, let's re-roll. Technically, just go ahead and re-roll your
which
Death
one was
one.
that?
Technically, Death.
Death.
Yep. Oh boy.
Well.
All right.
Try that again.
So for podcast folks,
just spend an intercession.
it's also true. But yeah,
Sure. I have 7 still.
got 7 of them,
Okay,
yeah.
I win.
Okay. Yeah, on that last one you win. Yeah, for the podcast folks not following along, Atratus rolled 4 successes on Gnosis and Death to spot deathy stuff. I rolled 4 successes on 13 dice. We roll off. I rolled 7 successes. There's no way. Oh, no, she rolled 7 successes. All right, intercession. I win. Put your token in the machine of the I win machine. God, I love intercessions. They're exactly for this kind of situation.
But if I had rolled, what would it have been?
Yeah, there it is. Yes. So looking at this, and you do that little bit of squint and just kind of push through with an intercession to just be like, no, I'm going to win this kind of thing. There is, we'll basically say it reminds you of the suppress aura. Is that the death one?
Yeah, that's it hides the fact that you're a mage.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It reminds you of that, but pumped up with some prime. And basically it looks like it is some kind of like deathly veiling of like hiding magic in like, in as opposed to being pure prime. It's basically using death to do the same kind of gig. And basically
Cool.
Whatever magical thing, and very specifically, without like doing a proper scrutiny of what it is, it looks like it basically hides everything that would be a mystery, and that would basically prompt curiosity. It's just, bland. It doesn't trigger that kind of curiosity. No, or to put it another way, nobody's accidentally going to start becoming a perspective and start seeking magic out by wandering through this beautiful garden.
I want to get rid of it. But I can't, right? I can't, no.
No prime.
No. Need that
Songbird.
1 dot in prime.
There's a thing here that sucks.
Okay.
I don't know if I can help you see it. Is the thing.
Nope.
Best thing I do is just blanket the area. That's probably not our best sort of tactic.
Not if we
Yeah.
want to.
That's a little bit kicking the door in a little bit
Because
early.
I probably dispel the portal into the place we want to go as well.
Potentially.
Yeah,
That's true.
Definitely don't want to do that.
Yeah,
Oh.
well,
So
just a general hiding of magic going on here.
Okay.
can I have a looky-loo for see if I can spot where the iris is?
Yeah, if you want to get a little bit, well, actually, going back to our inward outward eye thing, you are still a distance away.
Yeah.
So you will have penalties if you get inside, especially using inward outward eye. You are much closer. You're looking at stuff that is closer to you. It becomes a little bit easier. But if you want to try and spot it from back here, that's a possibility.
Sure.
You'll just
Gnosis
have
Prime?
Songbird was specifically asking you if there was any sort of like space effects around the gardens, or if there's any reason why we shouldn't climb the wall. Is I think the first step that
You get teleported like we did
tactically
the
I was
last time we
trying to like
marched
talk
into a
about.
space
Yeah,
age.
exactly.
Well, you'd be warded against that anyway.
Sure.
potentially, but if
Clash of
that's-
Wills, but yeah.
yeah, and that's also one of those. Do you want to just trust to the Clash of Wills, or do you want to know that it's a possibility before you trust the Clash of Wills, which I think is where Chris is coming at it. But yeah, if you want to, just throw on Mage Sight with space and just roll Gnosis plus space to spot anything. Okay, but that's a lie. There is, looking over it, there are no space spells. I had to think about it, but no, because they're not worried about people jumping over the fence. As soon as I did, I was like, wait, they don't actually have that word or anything like that. So yeah, looking at it, the walls seem clear of, weird magically spacey distortions. Thank you.
All right. Looks okay to me.
All right. Up and over?
Yeah.
Yep. Considering the fact that you guys have the time and oomph to do it, even though I think your guys' athletic scores might be a little... that's true, yes.
Songbird takes the person and lifts them across.
Very true. Yeah, and up and over. And like I said, this place, like compared to getting into Linwood Hall, this is way easier because it's a big, blocky, chunky wall. With that boost, it's pretty easy to get in.
How tall is the fence even?
It's like 10 feet, maybe a little bit more. It's not perfectly even. It's kind of moves with the natural kind of flow of the terrain. But yeah, up and over. Do you have Forces sight on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Immediately once you get over, you can spot in and amongst this garden, which is fairly open. Like I said, if you look at the pictures, you can see it's fairly spread out. You can see because you have Forces, you can see lights that are on, that are powered, but also kind of following that. You can see there's some security cameras, fairly liberally spaced around, nicely placed. So they, I almost said feng shui, and that's not appropriate for a Japanese garden, but they fit into the aesthetic. They're kind of hidden away and stuff like that. Machine invisibility says, fuck those anyways, but they are there. Those eyes are there.
Sure.
And, but yeah, looking through, you can see, that kind of layout of everything. For my purposes, you guys are down here on the ping.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Let me do a little doodle down here. Yep. The whole area, by the way, to give you sense of scale, is like 3.5. Yeah, 3.5 acres. So it's a fairly large space.
A few blocks by a couple blocks.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it's it's a nice bit of space. You can like get a little boat out onto that water. I don't know that they necessarily let you, but it's not a little rinky-dink pond. And so yeah, that's Craig. If Weird is going to be like, okay, I'm in. I have to do the hacker voice for Perry, otherwise he'll be upset.
Sure.
You can go ahead and roll. How do I want to do this? Because inward outward eye automatically lets you see stuff.
Yep.
But the distance might be a problem. Well, no, it's fucking space magic, and distance is a lie. Fuck it.
Yeah, exactly.
So what I am going to do, because there is a lot to see. Like I said, it's 3.5 acres that you're effectively trying to look at all at once.
Sure.
Do Gnosis, Gnosis plus space, minus, we'll say 2. 2 seems our kind of nice round number for when we do penalties and stuff like that. If you want to throw willpower, of course, you're welcome to do that too. But okay, cool. Yeah, you just need the one success. You kind of cast your eyes across, and you notice that there are actually several what appear to be irises. Little, and I mean, actually, let me pull up the correct term here, so we're using all the right stuff. Because there are different types of irises. Perfect. 243. Thank you for that. Yeah, so there are a couple different irises, different doorways and stuff like that, that seem to link to different places. Let's see here. We recognize an Avernian gate, a distortion, a shadowed door, 2 shadowed doors. Yeah.
This is Grand Central Station.
I mean, it is a Grand Central Station.
One of them.
All right.
You want to
Let's
bait us at the right one?
Yeah, let's check out
Maybe close your eyes and point.
And just a quick definition thing, just so we're all clear on the same stuff. An Avernian gate, we know that leads to the underworld somewhere. A distortion places you from one place on Earth to another place without crossing the space in between or to a pocket dimension. So there's only one actual distortion. And then there are the 2 shadow doors which lead into the spirit.
Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the distortion.
Probably.
And
Unless they're hanging out in the shadow.
Inward Outward Eye lets us see through all of those.
If you have the appropriate
arcana, yeah.
So for you, you can see through the distortions.
Mm-hmm. But Atratus can see
can see through the other two.
Can see through the other two.
I believe it's based on the spell, but thank you. Yeah, that is a very salient point because I think you have to include that in the spell itself.
That seems reasonable.
That would make sense, yeah.
Is Inward Outward Eye? Yeah, okay, there it is. It's just 1 dot.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yes, to reach, to see through them, and then with additional arcana based on the portal, may be able to see other stuff. So yeah, in the case of weirds, Inward Outward Eye, you cannot see through.
Okay.
That makes sense.
All right, fair enough.
And for note, somebody
I can
do red
I
for
can
the
see through
Burning
the Everinian gate though.
It's true.
I have death.
Holy shit, I forgot. So look over to
My
Twitch
little
for that
one dot in death.
lonely little dot. Yeah. Okay. So yes, very true. So the red dot there is the Vernian Gate. I really should make these actual dots. Let me see here. The purple one. Well, that's not very clearly purple. The yellow one is the distortion. And then the 2 shadowed are going to be, I don't want to put green on green. Orange should stand out. There is a there and there. Righto.
Oh, that one's fun. It's on an island.
Can you give me a ping on the purple one you said?
Oh, and I changed it
It's
to
yellow.
Oh, okay.
because it was not distinct from the red.
So
I tried, Chris. I tried to give you
Yellow.
purple, but
It's
A
fun.
red and 2 orange.
correct.
Mhm.
Left to right, that would be your Vernian Gate, your distortion, and your 2 shadowed doors.
So let's just go have a boo at the Everinian gate before we head over to the distortion.
Go through it.
Songbird says, I don't want to.
Hey, the last time we went through one, everything worked out fine.
It was fine.
I was 6, call it 9 months ago. Weird. Get over this.
Yeah, we've come a long way since
Oh,
then.
yeah. In the game, yes.
Yes, in game. Cool. So you guys make
Or
your way
not out of game.
right. You guys make your way over there. Let us have a clash of wills for incognito presence from Atratus and actually no. Let's flop that. Let's do invisibility to even see you. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, pick
Your
a
forces.
layer of shells that we're operating with here.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Decide
think
which one you're trying to break first.
right. Actually, go ahead and do your death one for or matter one for machine invisibility, because there are going to be 2 different things. Your actual invisibility is also going to apply.
Okay.
Just gnosis and matter. And then duration, right?
Correct. And then, as always, if you want to, you can throw. Mages can throw willpower at Clash of Wills. This is why I'm trying to tell you what the spell is. Okay.
Fuck off machines.
Atratus rolls 12 dice, gets 7 successes. Songbird rolls 14, gets 4. Okay. So let me see here.
Because
against it.
the spell, since it's combined, I can use my prime since it's the higher part of it to clash, right? Okay.
Yep.
Just making sure I was doing that correctly.
Yep. Okay, so against Atratus's machine invisibility. I don't know why I'm even bothering to roll, but you never know. Okay. And then against Songbird's actual invisibility, we need to roll off. Okay, cool. And now we come over to Atratus. Roll your gnosis plus mind, please. Plus duration,
Mind?
obviously.
Okay. Oh, so this isn't a machine looking at us.
There was something that was using electronics to view you. They failed. Somebody is peering through invisibility, has peered through the invisibility, but whether or not they actually recognize you as people is going to be the question. They rolled 1 success, so...
Smash that motherfucking like button.
Yep.
Get my box back. I hit it. That's +4. This is mental shield, right?
Incognito presence. But, yeah, mind anyways.
It's still +3, because I didn't get a bonus duration.
Christ, Ash.
Ash
You have to
says
share
no.
some of these.
We are stealthy. Rolls 9, 12 dice and gets 8 successes. Okay. Yeah, so you do not know what you're clashing against, but I will tell you guys that like you can recognize your spells are being clashed against.
Mm-hmm.
And so yes, somebody's trying to peer past invisibility, something is trying to peer past machine invisibility, and then something manages to get past one of those. You know, it's not machine invisibility, and you know, basically procs your incognito presence. So a lot of, you know, clash of wills, but you kind of shrug off. Technically, I think I need to roll these.
Walking around, flipping off the whole world around me.
Yeah. Technically, I think I need to roll these triple because there are the 3 of you, but I'm not going to do that to us or the folks at home. We love you. Everybody likes seeing some dice roll, but that gets a little ridiculous. So you make your way, basically cross through the grass over onto the actual pathway, cross the little stepping stones to the Avernian Gate. The Avernian Gate itself looks like basically a nice ornate manhole cover set into the pathway. And it looks like, oh yeah, it would drain stuff. However, with your inward-outward eye, who all is looking into it?
This is the underworld gate.
Mm-hmm.
I am looking into it.
Sure.
I don't want to.
Yeah. Don't worry. It's okay, Songbird. We know you're not looking into it, not because you're scared, just because you're keeping a lookout on everything else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of it. It's beneath me, literally.
How long did I spend in a forces realm?
So yes, the two of you kind of look down into it, and it's not so much that you see it open, so much as you see past the gate itself, which gives you a sensation of looking past teeth and like this esophagus. It is very, you know, fleshy. Yes, and you look down, and it takes you a second to figure out what you're looking at, and you realize you're looking out at what looks like a enormous sea of well, it looks like an enormous sea.
I don't
See any landmarks?
I don't remember hearing about
You
oceans.
are welcome to
and-
roll intelligence plus occult to see if you know dredge up from your memory. Try to take a +2. If anybody asks why Atratus gets a +2, you haven't been paying attention. Quick question. Gabe and Raven are along for the ride?
Yeah.
Okay. I can consider them as being targets for the spells because you guys did it all with advanced scale, so.
Listen, ghosts.
Yeah, both of you guys.
I have a +1 if
recognize-
it's ghosts, but
Sort of, kind of. That's why I just did the +2. Because this is you chatting with, primarily chatting with the Geists. And there is a sea in the underworld. It's kind of the bottom of the underworld, the Sea of Fragments, where stuff goes to get lost and it's terrible to swim in. And the longer you spend time in it, well, hang on. Weird knows there's something called the Sea of Fragments at the bottom of the underworld.
Oh, okay.
And that is kind of your guess. Atratus, with your 4 successes, knows you fall in there and aspects of yourself start to just come off. And it's one of the few ways that you could say, stop being a vampire. or stop being a mage, or stop being a werewolf, or stop being a woman, or stop being blonde, or
Is this his garbage disposal?
Considering the view that you have, you are well away from the shore. Like very possible if somebody wanted to just get
chuck
rid of
things in there
or chuck people. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean,
unpleasant.
if you have the ability to fly, you can just step through there, and now you are here and can just go flying through the underworld. But yeah, Atreides, now in character, Atreides, that just kind of looking down at their, quick, perfect recall. It's like, oh yeah, the sea of fragments, perfect recall. Ah, yes, I remember all of this. But you both get that little bit of information right then and there. If you want to have any further discussion and chat about it, you can. But yeah, that's the quick. Oh hey, that's probably the sea of fragments.
Kind of want to close this.
Wait, it is currently closed. The only reason you are seeing into it is because of inward, outward.
No, I mean like get rid of it.
We can clean it up after we've dealt with our business.
Death on making.
Yeah. I can make an Avernian gate. I should be able to unmake one.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But let's do what we came here for first.
Maybe later.
Yeah.
I definitely don't want to leave this here.
Well, can we... I guess Weird would... You know the key of a thing just by looking at it with space sight? Or you have to knowing that?
I think inward, outward eye may allow you to see that. Can see through an existing warp shortcut, blah, 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 blah. No, you would have to do... which one is it? I feel like there's something in here. Oh, it's correspondence with +2 reach. If the subject is a keyed spell or iris, can use 1 level of potency to discover the key instead of a link. So yes.
A bot. Need to strike it down.
Hello, friend. And by friend, I mean not really.
The hammer.
The hammer.
Later, buddy. Pal.
Cool. Bye, friend. Right. So you guys go, that's a problem. And Weird goes, it's a problem for later.
But yeah, I want to deal with that at some point.
Sure.
But yeah, right now, go check out the distortion.
Go over and look in the distortion, and Drew begins to describe it, and then we go to break.
Yep. Distortion actually pretty easy description.
Just hang on. Before we get into that, can I just is there some pebbles or dirt or a plant clipping or something that would be a strong link to the garden here?
Literally anything growing here.
That's why I'm going to grab something and stick in my pocket.
Cool.
Just in case we have to do a big emergency evacuate, we have a way to get back easy.
Sure.
Okay.
So you grab yourself a little flower, destroy and vandalize this wonderful Seattle Japanese garden.
It's a little leaf and a clipping.
You didn't learn your lesson in Peru, huh?
Oh yeah, take a clipping, steal a plant.
It doesn't have to be a plant. It can be like a rock or a stone from the ground.
once you make it a clipping and you start growing it there, now it's there as opposed to being
Yes.
Yeah. Space is dumb. I know, Chris. Okay. But you guys make your way over to the distortion. Very simple, easy thing to recognize. Well, I don't know how much you guys would necessarily recognize, immediately, but you realize, oh, this is like the front hallway of Congress, like the Congress building in DC.
Okay.
It looks like it, or it actually is. We can see
I mean, you see, you know, what appeared to be, I mean, I don't know what kind of night staff they have, but I imagine they have some level of like security, Marines, Army. Yeah, I don't know who handles that.
Probably just security guards.
Probably.
Interesting.
The front door to Congress. Cool.
Yeah, we'll say
There's
security guards.
no mages through it.
Not that you can see. I mean, it's literally like that. It's not literally under the rotunda, but you know, just before it, you can see like the big double doors that would lead into it.
Huh.
Never been inside Congress. I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, there.
Oh, I should probably actually roll it up because there's going to be some reach in there. But, well, no. Reach won't be a problem. It's a cast in the +2. I'm doing the correspondence. Get keys from this thing. I'm wondering if it goes to different places depending on what key you have.
No, because that would be multiple irises.
Okay. All right.
But but for clarification,
or a dynamic spell.
Right. Yeah, an archmage spell. But yeah, no, getting closer, you kind of give it a good once over and go, okay, no trickery. This is it's a two-way door to, yeah.
So this is.
Now, bear in mind, again, I'm telling you what you are seeing. If you want to go and confirm whether or not it actually is, you know, and is not just, you know, for whatever reason, the pylon created, you know, a pocket dimension that looks like Congress.
I want to confirm that, actually, yeah.
Cool. How would you like to? Yeah, in that case, yeah, you would need to figure out the key to get in.
All right, so correspondence. Give me a moment. Talk amongst yourselves.
Actually, we'll do it when we come back.
Oh, fair enough.
Because it is right at 7:30, and that'll give Craig a little bit to write that up. But yes, thank you all for joining us. As always, it is a blast to have you. If you want to support us on Patreon, that's patreon.com/Occultists Anonymous. If you want to support us and get merch, like the most awesome Rookery mugs or Brain Spider mugs or Totally a Witch mug or shirts, or we got a whole bunch of stuff. Check that out. That is occultanon.threadless.com. And the big thing, just come by Discord. Come hang out. It's okay if you lurk, but it's the best place to find news and what the heck is going on with all the stuff that we're doing. We have an announcement channel. We have places where you can ask questions, hang out, tell us about your stuff. Best place to come out and just be part of our cabal. I was going to say cult, but that sounds
You can also come out. That's fine too.
It's true.
We're very accepting.
Yeah.
Show us pictures of your dogs and birds and snakes.
True.
Wow. We went different directions there. But yes, absolutely. You are welcome and you are loved. Come by, hang out with us. That is yeetinto.space. Come join us on Discord. If you don't know how to use Discord, it's really easy. We will teach you. You will learn. It's cool. And we will see you guys, Twitch guys, in just a minute. YouTube guys, we'll see you on Friday.
Stay lucky.